Hello, and welcome to the Anahita Speaker Series presented by Carnegie India, celebrating stirring stories of empowerment, struggle, and success from women professionals in different fields across the globe. Stories we hope are bound to inspire young professionals. I'm Kanika Monga, Senior Coordinator, Partnerships and Strategy at Carnegie India. Today, we are delighted to have with us Ms. Sita Adhikari, co-founder and director of impact at Pollinate Group. While working as an entrepreneur, Sita decided she wanted to extend opportunities to women around Nepal. Before joining Pollinate Group, Sita was a founder and president of the Juani Women's Savings and Credit Cooperative, a founder of the Women's and Children's section of the Juani Community Library, and the founder of Kalpriksha, a special sub-series of the Anahita Speaker Series called Echoes from the Neighborhood. We are excited to feature inspiring women from India's neighboring countries. Through candid conversations, these trailblazers share personal journeys, professional milestones, and the unique challenges they've navigated across borders, offering fresh perspectives on leadership and resilience. So let me start with my first question, ma'am. You spent over 2 decades working in innovation, impact, and women's empowerment. What inspired you to focus your career on supporting women as leaders of change in some of the most neglected communities?
Kanika, for inviting me and this opportunity. I'm really happy to have this conversation. So, coming into your question, I grew up in rural Nepal where I saw women carrying a heavy burden of poverty and having very little sources and and then voice in decision making. What always stopped me is uh, they were they saw their resilience even with very little resource. They found a creative way to care their families and support their communities. That's always inspired me how women are innovates they find an innovative way to support their families. Yesterday I visited one of my entrepreneurs named Sita Guru. She started her business with us in around like 6 to 7 years now. She started with very minimum resource. She started her business with one or two lights. Now she has a shop. She shared with me that how she was very proud and sharing that now I am independent. Like I am paying all the bills. I'm taking a household purchase decisions. And she said I really feel powerful when I pay the bills of my kids education's health and pay the bills by her for her by herself. So that was very very powerful, and this reminds me that when women lead, the transformations became possible to every level of the society. That's really motivates me all the time.
Okay, and ma'am, if I'll go a little further, what was your personal journey in the beginning when you completed your studies, and how did you progress into this impact space? If you would tell us a little bit about how that happened, that would be useful.
Okay, I grew up in a rural village of Nepal, where when and middle income middle class families. So I am fortunate enough to go to schools and get the educations, even the schools in the government school educations. But at the same time, it was not equally available for all communities where I grew up. So I always think dream to go back, get back to the communities when I am the services and the facilities that I able to get. Always inspire of that. So I joined the community self-help group and other like community movements as a community volunteer and leaders in 2000. Once I, completed my master's um, and then returned back to the village. I had an opportunity to stay in the urban, like cities, and build my careers over the years, get a a comfortable job and all. That choice I had, but I didn't do that. But I always like wanted to get back to the communities where I can spend time with the women, understand their challenges, and work with work whatever I can do for this. So over like almost like 10 years, I did a volunteers to raise women voice, understand the challenges there, and then raise voice in different forums, create different platform for women to have a safe place to gather, share the challenges and all. That's through cooperative, through community center, libraries, whatever. This is how I built it, and then with that, like all the activities that I came to know that okay, women, the marginalized women who don't have an opportunity, the majority of women that we, score them as women, then these women doesn't have opportunity to either go to the schools or continue their educations or like get the job. Very minimal opportunities and very minimal resources that they live in. And micro enterprises is the one who can provide them and space, earning opportunity, income, and also the learning opportunity, and give them a sense identity. So this is how I was inspired, and I created and I found a cooperatives where I can provide women for with the micro loans, as well as saving space, and also learning opportunity with the trainings or livelihood trainings and other opportunity as well. This is how the journey has started and saved. And then later on I realized that I found there is a huge gap of understanding how we actually support women. It's not enough for a women who provide like only the economic opportunity or one set of like the skills, but women need a lot of like long term hand holding in some context because they face a lot of challenges, and there is a lot of personal barriers and societal norms and all those things. So in this case, like women need handholding and series of supports, so that she able to step in into the bigger economy or like the mainstream. This is how we started these businesses, which now sit as a Pollinate group in Nepal in 2012. Uh, with the aim of like helping women and distribute clean energy at the same time. So our at that time actually, I mean, Nepal were facing a huge energy crisis, and at the other hand, like women didn't have opportunity, and but at the same time have like playing a critical role in household decision making, or taking care a lot of household burden, and household responsibility. So that in that case, like we were thinking like, what if we empower women to distribute clean energy product, so that we can provide like clean energy sources for the communities at the same time we empower women economically as well and the sustainability.
Okay, and ma'am, what is the model behind the Pollinate group, and how have you used that effectively across India and Nepal? And how does it how does it lead to women empowerment?
I mean, this model has like our story started from the time when Nepal was facing a huge energy poverty and energy crisis in 2012. 10, 12 to 17, where we were trying to solve the issues of energy poverty, as well as bringing women in the in mainstream, being passionate about women empowerment and all. Me and my co-founder Anya Charnif, discuss about these opportunities and the challenges that our communities are facing. So we started with the a small step, which is the distribute solar lantern by empowering women in the local communities. So, but the model has evolved very soon from distributing clean energy to establishing a micro enterprises run by women very soon naturally. So women became a change agent in the communities, and they start offering um, uh, uh, you know uh, clean energy as well as household products that impact women and children particularly, which saves time, save money, and improve health in their communities. And we offer not only the product, but we offer the opportunity for women to learn and earn. So by offering different kind of skills development trainings, peer network, offers like micro the inventory loans, so that we address the issues that women face to the resource access to access on resource and finance, and then particular about like ease of working and the family rootedness is the women's like priorities. So we always ensure that they have the flexibility of work, and so that they respect their like family rootedness, and provide enough time to the women. So recently, we after COVID, we also introduced the digital literacy for the women, because it's very very important skills that women need, and then adopt their like digital skills on to run their businesses as well. So it's become a part of our core skill development side, so that women are resilient with their businesses, while they are serving the communities with clean energy and life improving products. So currently, like our women are evolve their like learn business skills and create a networks, earn income, then like slowly and gradually they evolve in their business and become an entrepreneurs in certain period of time, and then start like taking decision in their home. Ultimately, like we want women to be a powerful agent, like change agent in the society, while she is providing like the taking care of their family as well as by herself, like improving herself in from next path. So this is how we are like supporting women through business, like learning by doing by learning methods. So she practically practice how she run the business, as well as she learn a basic business skills, so that in future she can run any kind of businesses which has opportunity around her. Like actually we want her to have a skills to find an opportunity in her around around her, and have is confident enough. So actually in our last impact survey, like more than 80% women reported that her confidence level has increased, and now she is easily able to talk with her any strangers and the customers, uh, and the communication skills has been improved. So this is the basic like women want to acquire and then run business progressively.
That's some really wonderful work that you're doing. So, ma'am, I have another question and follow up to that. So, how do you think women led social enterprises in South Asia differ from those in other parts of the world? And what unique strengths do you think they bring to the global conversation on inclusive development?
Uh, so in South Asia, 1 in 4 women in the workforce. Okay. So and then this context, women did social enterprises in prizes is still like create a innovative approaches that are running business at creative, inclusive space for women and minorities. So in South Asia, it's not very, the market is not very friendly for women and SMEs. Like if we look at the data, um, only in India, 22% SMEs are owned by women, which is but that stuff. So this shows women enterprises is still a minority pathway. It is the powerful when supported by collaborative platform. India has recognized almost like 100 million women into 9 million SMEs self-help group under national ruler. This is NRLM, which is the very very largest self-help group in India. That brings very good opportunity for women, and it's bring a very inclusive last mile distribution network and trust build network, and then that is very trust built behavioral change network that we can saw in South Asia, and then this network de-risks the credit at the last mile customers, and that is very very important. And in Nepal context, 27% SMEs registers that women lead, but most of the 92% SMEs women leaders are saying that they are facing tough financial crisis. I mean, access on finance is the major constraint for them to run business. They are supporting 22% GDPs, contributing in 22% GDPs and 2 million jobs created by those SMEs, which means like they have also significant access on has outsized the micro impact. So in this context, if we see this, like there is a lot of the example of that created by Nepal and India on South Global, which bring like very inclusive approach to bring women in the mainstream with the self-help group initiative, as well as all others like social enterprises approaches who brings the bottom to top approach in running enterprises or managing the organizations, and bring grassroots perspectives, which is very much from South Asia. Nepal also has globally recognized with a very renowned inclusive approach of community forest, where where 44% users members are female in the community forest. And if you say that 22,000 plus community user communities who manage the community forest, and which is globally recognized how communities are manage the community forest. So there is so many those, and then cooperative also, more than 50% cooperatives are managed by female in Nepal, female leaders. And majority of the members are female also. Almost 90% are repayment rate. These are the very awesome example on the social enterprises, and then initiative that South Asia brings to the global, how this minorities, the women and social enterprises can bring change in the society. So I think that's the kind of key key message for the globe.
Um, When you think about the journey you've taken, how has your country or community, through its cultural and geographical context, shaped your understanding of resilience and possibility and influenced your life or work?
So, I mean, I'm just like thinking, I'm growing in Nepal. Resilience was never abstract for me. It was a life. I mean, I always go. It's a life reality. I always go and witnesses of all these things. So Nepali cultures and the geographical context had deeply shaped my own understanding of resilience and the possibilities. So actually, I have learned when people give like smallest resource, then and the whether the and the access on livelihood trainings or clean energy, then they find the innovative way to transform their life and their families, and how I mean, if with through a small resource, small kind of like trainings, small kind of like backup, like how actually they find it's very valuable, and then they find their own innovative way to to transform in next couple of days or months. For example, at first, like I started with Sita, like I could see in like 3 to 4 years, like how she started with one light, two light businesses. Now she has a shop with a lot of products, and she is dreaming. Actually, she is now dreaming where like the more bigger, like wholesale kind of distributions hub in her own, like side of the job, so side of the home. So this means like from seeing her from that level to this level with very little, like support, and kind of people need some hope, like people needs more, like confident, and people need some back support that okay, you can do it, like here is the way. I mean, you just this kind of things is very very powerful to the people to who are struggling to live their life. So that is very very important, and that just taught me in my my community, my cultures, and all this geographical context where there's natural disasters and political instability, and the resource constant is always very very kind of way, live of life. So it's very important to learn from it, and then go ahead with that. For me, this has re- re- reinforced the belief that resilience is not about the survive the hardest life, but about creatively converting it into the possibilities. So we need to always convert it in possibilities. The resilience is that, not just live the life with the hardships. That's what I learned from my communities, and it's actually from my entrepreneur taught me this, that we provided a very few things, and that they themselves like innovating their own way to do very differently, and to serve their communities, creating impact in their communities, which is very very powerful.
And, ma'am, how did the Acumen Fellowship in India influence your approach to leadership? And what did the fellowship teach you about India, the challenges, opportunities, or the social enterprise landscape, particularly in comparison to your work in Nepal or other regions?
Acumen India is really a very very powerful, like space. I think in a space that I able to get to there, and I got chance to that. I found very very fortunate to be at that platform and to be there, to be on this network. This fellowship was a very transformative experience for me, and I was a batch of COVID, and actually we known as COVID batch. And that was very very important time that I was in in Ecumen fellowship, and then that taught me to leadership is not just about managing, operating, like managing operation, but creating a moral courage, empathy, and long-term impact. That's very, very, stood up when I was in economy. I understand the empathy in deeper way. I understand the moral leadership in deeper way, and then how important it is like to live with the moral leadership as a leaders in the organizations. It's not just managing the operation. It's not just running the business and making profit, or like paying the paycheck and all. It's more about how you establish, how you shape the people. And then I learned the importance of listening deeply to the communities and understanding systemic barriers, and redesigning the solution that are both scalable and very and then human centric and powerful. That is what the spring Acumen Fellows brings me. And then I also understand like the huge landscapes of social enterprises in India, which is a huge, like kind of huge platform that I could able to know and learn from the social enterprises in India, and the most importantly the network that I able to like join and then learn from each other. Um, so this in my work in Nepal, I realized that while Nepal offers the opportunities to innovative in remote resources, and the resource constant remote areas, but India provides a very the large landscapes and large and then large landscape and the huge like populations, and in a scalable model. So that is the kind of differences that I could realized when I was in Ecuador Fellows, and could see that huge potentiality in India. At the same time, the opportunity in Nepal with the kind of um, very unique geographical context here. It was a very powerful journey for me with Ecumen.
I think that's pretty interesting to see the comparison. We'll move to the last set of questions, the rapid fire round. So if you can answer in briefly or in one or two words, that will be nice.
Yeah,
A
sure.
childhood dream you once had.
Dream to be a change agent. I think when I am like trying to rephrase it's change agent. I was dreaming that, and sometimes like motivational speaker also like resonate, but it's a change agent.
That's a wonderful dream. Your favorite place to unwind in Nepal.
Any places surrounding by nature and plants, where I always restore my energy and perspective. So it's I'm close to national park as well. I always like feel like more energy with the close to nature.
Okay. Living in a place like Nepal, I can imagine. A local dish from your country you think everyone should try. Nepali momos. Okay. One book or podcast you've enjoyed recently.
Uh 21 lesson for 21st century. So Yuval Harari's
Okay.
21 lessons for 21st
Yeah.
century.
21 lessons, understood. A place in India you hope to visit.
Kashmir, of course.
Okay. A skill you wish you could master instantly.
Which is AI, using AI tools to visualize communities' stories and the impact, which I
Yeah,
am
that
like very
I think that's
passionate
the need
about
of the
now.
hour. Yeah, that's the need of the hour at the moment.
Yeah,
Everybody is trying to grapple with how to
everybody's.
use AI. And I think it's going to be quite interesting how AI can make an impact on the social sector as well.
Yeah,
That how
yeah,
you
very,
could
very
use
interesting
it to the
areas.
benefit of of women empowerment and skills. upskilling. So it should be quite interesting to see how that pans out in the next couple of years. Great. So with that, we'll come to a close on our conversation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out the time for the Anahita Speaker Series. And to our audience, do watch out at Carnegie's India YouTube channel for our next episode. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.